Okay, so let's review multiplying, and for today, we're going to focus on just multiplying monomials by polynomials. So meaning that I'm just gonna have one term that I'm gonna multiply into several terms, okay? So for these, let's recall our product rule that for exponents, okay? So if we have x to the a times x to the b will have x to the a plus b. So if you have like terms, you can add those exponents together. One thing to make sure that you're doing here, guys, is that before with adding and subtracting, you were only combining like terms. You can multiply everything. Okay, multiply everything. I don't care if they're like terms, if they're not like terms. If you test the multiply, you multiply them, okay? And to do that, you're going to multiply coefficients and add exponents. Okay, so remember with combining like terms, those exponents stay the same, but when you're multiplying, you have to add those exponents together. So I know it seems really easy to do just adding, and then when you just multiplying, it's really easy, but then when you throw them all together, are you gonna be able to keep it straight of when do you add the exponents, when do you not add the exponents and whatnot? So here I have my first example, x times x plus 4, the quantity x plus 4. We need to make sure, just like it's just distributing, okay? It's just distributing. I have x times x. I know you don't see any exponents there, but they're just 1. So you have x times x is x squared. And then x times 4, okay? In math, we wouldn't say x times 4. In algebra, that's not how we write the product of x and 4. What do? Since we have a number and a variable, the number will always go in first, and it will just say 4x, okay? We don't write a multiplication sign between a number and a variable because I'm going to assume that you understand that 4x means 4 times x without me having to write it. Okay, example number 2. We got this monomial out here, 5n cubed is a monomial, and I'm going to distribute it to each term inside of this polynomial. We always want to multiply coefficients, so I have 5 times 3 is 15. M cubed times m squared gives me m to the 5th. Add those m to the 5th. I said 5 and wrote 6. So you always add those exponents together. I have 5m cubed times negative m, so I don't have any coefficient. My coefficient over here is just a -1, so 5 times -1 is -5. M cubed times m is m to the 4th, okay? If it helps writing in those ones, do that, okay? And then I have 5m cubed times -7, I'm left with a -35, still with an m cubed. I know there's no m's over there to combine those factors, but you still have that factor of m cubed out there that you'll have to distribute, okay? All right, so just like before, we're just gonna work out the odd ones. If you wanna cross out the even ones, go for it. If you work out all the odd ones with me and you feel like you're still stuck, take those even ones, meet me on Zoom, and we'll work them out together until you get it, okay? All right, number 1, k times k minus 9. Distribute. We got k squared minus 9k, okay? If you want to say k times 9 in an algebra setting, you say 9k. Okay. All right, so let's go forward. We'll distribute this. This should feel like a review, guys, okay? At this point, we should have done this maybe a little bit in pre-algebra and a little bit now here. I just want to make sure we go over some of these, so if I throw some more intense problems at you, you're ready. All right, so I've got -6p times p to the 4th is -6p to the 5th. Oops, don't write your sign. I'm about to mess up right there. I have a -6 times a -8, gives me a positive 48. And then 8 doesn't have any factors of p over here, but I do still have my -6p, that factor, okay? All right, I'm going to leave 5 for you guys to do. Moving on. Maybe I'll leave you number 7 too. 5 and 7. All right. Number 9, we got some P's and Q's. Don't get these mixed up because they look a lot alike, okay? So whenever you're multiplying monomials, a monomial can have as many variables in it as you want. You notice these monomials, p squared q cubed, p squared is q cubed, you gotta say that 5 times fast. It has 2 different variables in it. You can have as many variables in a single term as you want, okay? So I'm just going to combine the exponents with like bases. So if I have p squared times p to the 5th, that's p to the 7th. And q cubed times q squared is q to the 5th, okay? Now I'm going to distribute over here. P squared times p cubed, q cubed times q is q to the 4th. That's a tongue twister for sure. Okay. Moving on down here, number 11, I'm going to make sure that I distribute this to each term. I will combine the exponents with like bases. So I have 5 times negative 2 is negative 10. R squared times r to the 2nd is r to the 4th. And I still have my factor of s squared. So this term, done. Now I need to multiply by positive 3. 5 times positive 3 is a positive 15. R squared times r is r cubed. S squared times s is s cubed. Perfect. Now I need to multiply it by the negative 4s squared. 5 times negative 4 is negative 20. R squared, I don't have any r's over there, but I'm still going to write it, r squared. And s squared times s squared is s to the 4th. Okay, so you notice that when you're multiplying your monomials together, if there's no common factors with the same base, you still have it in your product, okay? You just don't have to combine any factors. It is always standard too, guys, whenever you're writing a term, that it's in alphabetical order. So I would never say like 3BA. I would say 3AB, okay? You want to make sure it's in alphabetical order. Okay, I'm going to leave number 13 for you guys. Okay, so there we practiced some multiplying. Now let's put a little bit of it together. Let's do some multiplying and combining like terms. Now, recall order of operations. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Those all still apply, okay, even when you're working with crazy algebra stuff, okay? Let me make this a little bit bigger for us because we're not doing the even ones, we're just doing the odd ones. So first thing I need to do is eliminate these parentheses and distribute, okay? Distributing is multiplying, that's why it's gonna come before adding or subtracting, okay? I guess one thing we should think about too, if there was something you could do to make your life easier inside those parentheses, you would. I can't do anything there, those aren't like terms inside, so we can't do anything inside the parentheses. So let's take care of our multiplying. So I have negative 6x squared plus 8x, and then I still have my plus my 7x. And now you want to combine like terms. I have a positive 8x and a positive 7x. Okay, you notice when I combine those, I still have an x. It didn't change to an x squared or anything like that, okay? All right, 17. I've got a couple sets of parentheses. There's nothing I can do inside of them, but I can distribute to eliminate that multiplication going on. Now, be careful with the second one. You notice this is a negative y, so don't forget to multiply with that negative sign. So I have y times y is y squared. Y times 4. How do I write y times 4? 4y. Negative y times y is negative y squared. Negative y times negative 3 is a positive 3y minus 9y, okay? So sometimes it's just weird, the notation of why we do things in math. We always want to make sure our coefficient is in front of my variable, okay? So you have y times 3, you write 3y. All right, so let's combine. Y squared minus y squared, those just go away. 4y plus 3y is 7y. Oh, hold on. Can't forget, I got 4y, 3y, and negative 9y. So 4 plus 3 is 7, minus 9 is negative 2y. And that's my answer. Okay, I'm going to leave number 19 for you guys to do. Okay, I'm gonna do number 21 and so on. So I got to distribute, got 3 sets of parentheses I need to distribute to. Okay, I like to draw my arrows sometimes to help me know what I'm about to do. So 3b times 7b is 21b squared minus 6b, 3b times -2, plus 3 times b squared is 3b squared. 3 times 2b is a positive 6b. 3 times 1 is a positive 3. Negative 3b times negative 5b is a positive 15b squared. Negative 3b times a positive 3 is a negative 9b. Whew, lots of multiplying there, okay? So just make sure that you're being very neat and organized about it so that you keep them all together. So I'm going to start with the highest power first because that's the standard way to write a polynomial. I got 21b squared, positive 3b squared, and a positive 15b squared. Let's see, this gives me 24, 34, 39b squares. Okay, when I combine, my exponents are staying the same. I'm not adding them together. Negative 6b, positive 6b, those just go away. I'm left with a negative 9b. And then plus 3. Oops. Plus 3. Okay? Lots of multiplying going on there. So I'm going to work out number 23. Okay, so now on number 23, I'm going to distribute. Okay, here I just have a minus sign in front of there. The 4r cubed isn't multiplying, but it is going to be combined with that. But you do have to make sure you distribute that minus sign, okay? So I have negative 2r to the 4th plus 12r cubed minus 12r, okay? Now I still have my plus 4r cubed there. Now I need to distribute this minus sign. So I have a minus 5r to the 4th minus 10r. All right, now I'll combine. Start with the highest power, negative 2r to the 4th. Then I have plus 16r to the 3rd. Oh, I have another r to the 4th. Be careful with that. So I have negative 2 and negative 5. That's a negative 7r to the 4th. Sorry about that. And then I have negative 12r and a negative 10r, gives me a negative 22r.